They thought I was just a quiet farmer, the kind of man who would bow his head and let powerful people walk all over him. For 3 generations, my family had cultivated 3,200 acres of farmland, land that wasn't just soil and crops, but our history, our sweat, and the only inheritance I had to pass down to my children. Then one morning, I woke up to discover that the local HOA, backed by greedy developers, had declared my farmland abandoned property and sold it off illegally for luxury housing projects. Bulldozers rolled in, tearing apart fences my grandfather had built by hand. I watched with tears in my eyes as cornfields that once fed hundreds were flattened for driveways and swimming pools. My neighbors whispered that I should move on, but how do you move on when someone steals the very ground beneath your feet? I refused to let their arrogance stand. I spent sleepless nights poring over county records, property deeds, and legal loopholes. What I uncovered was devastating for them. The HOA had sold homes, including their own, with paperwork that was fatally flawed. Technically, by their own mistake, every house they occupied was still tied to the original farm estate, and therefore, with the help of a sharp lawyer, I quietly filed the claims and began the process. The same smug board members who had laughed in my face were about to learn that the soil they mocked was more powerful than their signatures. The first notice went out, then another, then another. Panic spread like wildfire as one by one their houses slipped from under them. I didn't need bulldozers or threats. The law was my weapon. When the final eviction notice landed in their mailboxes, I stood in silence on what was once my land, watching moving trucks line up along the streets. But here's the question. If you were in my place, would you have shown them mercy and let them keep their homes? Or would you have done exactly what I did? In the end, I sold every one of those houses, not out of greed, but as justice. The profits went to restoring what was left of my farmland and creating a foundation in my family's name. As for the HOA, they now know what it feels like to lose everything they tried to steal. The land remembers, and so does the farmer who refused to be silenced.